Yo, I'm back at it again. Another video today. Not even today. Right now, we watch Yo Mike's, Yo Mikey's, Yo Mike Z. Uh, they believe in the faith. The follow. Discern to say. Hopefully, I believe so. He's a follower of Yah and the Messiah. To some of his videos.
Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite view of your home right now.
Now, what I want to focus on today is the word Nephilim here. Because one mistake a lot of people make is thinking that Nephilim just means giants. This abominable genetic deviation. But what if there was another deviation? First of all, let's just go to the Book of Enoch and see what it says. And all
A lot of people. The Book of Enoch for our generation. I encourage a lot of people to read it. I haven't read it. I read some of it. I just skimmed through it because it's a lot. And when you need it, you need patience. You can't just sit here and read it like all one day. That's not gonna work. You need to ask for discernment because it's a lot of words, a lot of details. Like it describes heaven and earth in details. Details. If you really want to know the truth, and the foundation, how it all started. Enoch, it's Enoch. It's Jubilees and Jasher. I think it's Jasher. Them three books they took out like the regular Bibles. They go into details about Sabbath, Jubilees, tradition, real details. The Israelites, lifestyle, their culture, how to live for Yah. It's not even just Israel, but the foundation from Abraham to now. I mean, from Adam to now. But yeah, Enoch is it's a good book. You're encouraged a lot to read. I'm gonna start reading it. I might just read a few on the channel, but who knows? Y'all willing. Let's get into it.
the others together with them took unto themselves wives, and each chose for themselves one, and they began to go in unto them, and to defile themselves with them. And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells. And they began to sin against the birds, and the beasts, and the reptiles, and the fish, and
That's exactly. That's when he means sin against. He means actually sin against. Like they abominations. They was mixing animals with animals, humans with animals. Like Percy Jackson and stuff like that. The I forgot Narnia, the whatever it's called. Them people like that's really like they're not getting this out of nowhere. They're not getting this out of nowhere. They're not making this stuff up. They're getting it from somewhere because it's been here. They've been doing this generation. The demon spirits, watchers, fallen angels, bro. It's real. The freaking human, half goat. That's real. Lions, elephants with heads. All these ancient civilization idols or like carvings of animals, human hybrids. You think they making it up? You think they making that stuff up? The stuff we do now, they probably think we was making this stuff up, but they was out here. But no, it's real. Like that's what they saw. There was actual tribes, werewolves, freaking vampires. Like, come on now, think about it.
to devour one another's flesh. Then the earth laid accusations against the lawless ones. Now, if we go back to Genesis here, we read that the earth was corrupt in God's sight and full of violence. Now, I want to really focus on corrupt here. The earth was corrupt in God's sight. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on the earth had corrupted their way. And even before that verse here, Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. This is very important, generations. There was a whole lot of talk of corruption here, and I find this very interesting because God was also mad with the animals, the birds, and the plants, but what had they done? Now, putting two and two together, remember how I said in Enoch chapter 7, the giants began to sin against the birds and the beasts and the reptiles and the fish. What we have here is a human skull and a Neanderthal skull. As you can see, the Neanderthal skull is vastly different from the human skull. Its bone structure is denser, stronger. You can tell it's more solid. Its teeth are stronger. And I really wonder, could this be a Nephilim? The earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. And God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on earth. All flesh. Now, there is this thing called the Dead Sea Scrolls from around the 3rd century BC. Now, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there is this one most interesting book called the Book of Giants. Now, what they found was little fragments, and what they came out with is this most interesting story. 200 angels who choose animals on which to perform unnatural acts, beasts of the field, from every animals, from every bird, for miscegenation. Miscegenation. It means crossbreeding. It means taking different species and mixing them together to make something new. It is very curious how in Enoch...
What do you think they doing in them science labs, man? Biology labs. Making man bear pig. You think it's a joke? It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here. What I was about to say, I was about to say something. Dinosaurs. Where you think dinosaurs come from and why they not here today, but we got all these other animals here today? Think about it. You think they just now started mixing, splicing DNA and mixing animals and human DNA? They've been doing that. They be trying to talk about why we got all these old civilizations, old new technology, all these technology, advanced technology, but these old civilizations. Where did they got it from? Watch it, fallen angel. They taught them this. I'm telling you. Get back into it.
The giants began to sin against the birds and the beasts and the reptiles. The Book of Giants seems to call it miscegenation. Now, let's look at some Egyptian gods. The Egyptians had this big obsession with these half-animal, half-humanoids.
They doing that just to cover it up. Them real people, real pharaohs. Them who they serve, these hybrids. Come on now. They not doing it just that, but with not wearing no freaking mask, no helmet. With no dang mascot. That's what they look like. Come on now.
Now, if you move over to Greek mythology, this is a centaur, another half-human, half-animal creature. This right here is some of the Babylonian gods. Once again, we see a half-humanoid, half-animal type creature here. This is another picture of a Sumerian god. As you can see, there is a pattern here. Half-human, half-animal beings who rule as gods. Now, what's absolutely interesting about this is that everybody originated from the same area. This right here is the Tower of Babel, built by the guys in the time of Nimrod. When they erected...
If you don't know about Babel, read your word. If you ever had a question about, well, where do all these people come from? How we all get all these different colors, different languages? Read Babel. Read the Bible. It talks about the Tower of Babel in the first five books of the Torah. It talks about Babel. It talks about the line of we come from Shem. We come from Noah. Shem. Noah has Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth. That's where the people hail from, and what they started at. It's all history. It's all history. It's and people like, oh, it started in Africa. It started near Africa, Middle Eastern, where Babel. That's where it started. That's where everybody dispersed. These people not even fighting. It's not even about war or nothing. At the end of the day, everybody related. It's about just shedding blood, shedding blood. They fighting over land. That's not. They just want to conquer. They just want to take land. It's not even about taking land. But come on now, think about it. This is. They know what they're doing.
This, God came down and saw what they had done, and saw that they were in direct opposition to his command of being fruitful and multiplying. God confuses their language, and now they're split into 5 different nations, each going their separate different ways. Now the Phoenicians are the Canaanites. In Numbers 13:33, we hear about the sons of Anak, who are literal giants, descendants of giants. Now the Egyptians also come from the Tower of Babel, and today this is what we are finding in Egypt. Now let's look at Babylon here. Again, they originated from the Tower of Babel, and before you know it, we have half human, half animal gods. Greece, of course, same thing. The mermaid mythology comes from Greece, which originates in the Tower of Babel. You see, the angels had done a lot more than just make giants on the earth.
And who knew that? Who knew mermaids came from Greece? That's why you gotta do your research out here. Be open-minded. I believe him. I believe him when he said that. For some reason, I do. Cause these people not doing research, man. Like it's not coming out of nowhere. Nobody just thought in their head, "Oh, let's make a mermaid." No, they seen it somewhere, bro. Nothing new under the sun.
They had quite literally corrupted all flesh by crossbreeding different species and making abominations. You see, people always wonder how we get these different aliens and different creatures and different mythologies. Well, it all seems to originate from the same place. The Tower of Babel is what happened in that tower. What happened with this tower for all these different demigods to appear? You see, the earth was also corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt for.
With that being said, the Tower of Babel, all religions are the same. If you look at the history, if you want to dive into the history, they have a sun god, a moon god, and the son of the sun god. And then all these other different demigods. But they got 3 main gods. All these religions, that's why they're trying to push one religion. They saying, oh, your God is my God. My God is not your God. I got a name. It's not the same name as your God. My God is the Elohim of Israel. Not the Elohim of Greece. The Greeks was not accepting them. Why did they make Christianity? Christianity is nothing but a Greek philosophy mixed with Hebrew scriptures. I'm a Christian, but I follow the Bible. I believe the scriptures. Follow the other way. That's for a later video, man. So this out.
All flesh had corrupted their way on earth. It really makes you wonder whether or not the people who built the Tower of Babel started looking in places they maybe shouldn't.
Shout out to Yo Mike, man. Go follow him on YouTube. He got Instagram. Follow him on Instagram. You know. That being said, hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, shout out to these people I'm watching about to watch my channel. Shoot, watch theirs. 'Cause they trying to get our message out to the ones who need to hear. Cause not everybody be listening. They like to hear this world. Pushing messages out, you know, delivery. That's what Husha means in Hebrew. Delivery. The book of Hosea. Deliver his message.